We're live. Awesome. All right. Well, let's hope the microphone works. So, welcome to the Supplement Engineer channel, everyone. My name is Robert Chinesky. Joining me, as always, is my vivacious vixen of a wife.
Me.
Her.
Sandy.
Thank you guys for joining us, as always. Sorry we weren't here last week. We had some, what do you want to call
We
them?
had parents.
Squatters. We had some squatters.
In-laws.
Her in-laws. I mean,
My
my in-laws, her parents. So we were out and about at, what were we doing last Thursday? Where were we at? The Oasis.
We might have been out at Oasis.
Drinking.
It's a place that overlooks the lake and all these mansions, and you feel wealthy, and the burger is so good. The drinks are okay. Like, I had a sour beer. That's all I needed. Yeah. But the burger was so good, and they overdressed my Caesar salad, which I absolutely love.
Well, they charged her $8 for a side Caesar salad, and I think there were 3 leaves of lettuce on the entire bowl.
I really liked it, though.
It was gross.
I thought it was good. I am willing to pay for someone to overdress my Caesar.
But, I mean, at least give me, like, half a head of lettuce, not, like, the leftover scraps from somebody else.
Robert, these are tight times.
Apparently so. Apparently, I mean, the rent over there must be absurd to be.
I believe that.
Anyway, the burger was phenomenal. The fries were good. Beers were okay. I mean, I was all right. I wasn't in a beer mood that day.
It's the view.
Yeah,
but the food is good considering the view is gorgeous. Okay, yeah. This camera keeps I'm not allowed to move.
No, you're not. You got to be stuck in.
This doesn't work for me.
Yeah. So I guess we should.
See my Fitbit. See my steps. Okay, I'm at 9,000.
There we go. So I guess we should caveat by this saying that we've got some new equipment in the works here. So maybe we're coming in a little bit clearer. I probably look a lot worse than I usually do. Sandy looks a lot more gorgeous than she usually does. So,
I don't think that would be the case.
We've got a new little web camera that we got hooked up here, and we have a microphone. So hopefully the audio and the video is a little bit better. If you guys cannot hear us, let us know, and then I'll figure out how to work this microphone thing and do all that again.
Wouldn't that be funny if this whole time we were talking and that nobody told us that they couldn't hear us?
That'd be really funny.
Okay.
But as always, housekeeping tips. If you like what we're doing here, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video with family, friends, and loved ones. If you listen to the Supplement Engineer podcast or the Final Scoop on any of the podcast cruising platforms out there, make sure to leave us a 5-star review if you enjoy the content. That helps us climb up in the almighty algorithm. And if you're looking to further support any of our endeavors, you can click the links down below in the description to save 15% on all Apollo Nutrition products with the code Final Scoop. Or if you need some creatine, check out Massive Iron Creatine.
Yay!
So,
why are we early today? There was no reason for us to be early today.
There was a reason for us to be early today because originally we were supposed to be gallivanting out doing all of the
shenanigans. But we canceled those plans at noon.
Right. I just felt like you can. Well, this way you can go pick up the halfling early, and then you can do mommy-daughter dinner, or you can I don't know. Watch a movie or something. I don't know.
We can hang out.
But yeah, we are super early, Brooke. Let us know if the audio is sounding okay, because this is our first time hooking up this little doodad. So let us know if the audio is working a-okay or not, and if it's not, then oh well.
Pretty funny.
So
what's up, sir?
What are you drinking?
I am drinking. I wanted a drink. So I got some bourbon, and then I got this drink that my students love called Izzy or Izza, I-Z-Z. I don't know why they love it so much. It's 90 calories for something that doesn't taste very good, but it's fine. I had some left over because school's out and they left it. And it's the orange clementine, which does taste like a clementine. And you put bourbon in it. Iron Wolf
Bourbon, our beloved Spicewood distillery that we go to, and it's just free, open, normal. It's wonderful.
It is wonderful.
Super crisp and clear. Awesome. Good. Crisp and clear, just like a refreshing
lettuce.
Overpriced lettuce that you ate. Awesome. Well, good. I'm glad
really
our audio is crisp and clear and everything like that. So fantastic. Yeah, we're early. I don't know what time we're going to settle on for doing these summer
it's
live
the
Q&As.
Summer.
Well, plus the school that she goes to closes at 6 now instead of 6:30.
Right.
And typically we were doing these from 4:30 to 5:30, and you were getting there probably like 6:15.
Yeah. The other thing is, June 21st, I start. Okay, y'all, I don't know if it's good fuzzy, whatever. June 21st, I start my topology class online. But here's the thing. It's supposed to be from 1 to 3:30, but then it's Santa Cruz time, California time. What time is California time? 1 to 3:30? What is that for us?
3:30 to 5:30 here.
So that's Monday, Wednesday, Fridays during that time. So that's interesting. What up?
Monday, Wednesday, Fridays?
Yeah, that's my classes are Monday, Wednesday, Fridays from 1 to 3:30
California
time. So I didn't know what that meant. Our time.
How did people not understand time zones? That's what like to this day.
Why you got to be such a jerk about it? Why you got to be like that?
You were not the only one. I've talked to people. They'll say
it takes a second.
Well, no, they're saying I'll talk to people, and we'll be saying at like a time like Eastern time, and they'll be in Central, and they're saying, so what? That's an hour behind us. I'm thinking, do you know what a map is? Did you not learn time zones when you were in grammar school?
You're so judgmental.
Basic freaking knowledge.
Yeah, and I bet you know where all the 50 states are on a map. Good for you. It's been taking me time and time again of doing this puzzle with my daughter, and I'm like, I still don't know the I's. There's like in Indiana and in Illinois. It's like, and then there's like the square states. I don't know which one goes above.
And then there's the free state of Florida all the way at the bottom right.
I know Florida, Texas, California. Holler.
We're gonna blow up the San Andreas Fault, and we're just gonna annex California to the Pacific.
Yeah, well, that's the only states I know. So just so we're clear.
Hello, Chris. How are you, man? California follows no rules.
Time is an illusion.
It is. Creamy. I've got your package. It's packed up. I got the pre-works. Puts all in the box together, and it's going to be shipping soon. Yeah.
Well, that's so cool. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thoughts on people buying hundreds of dollars worth?
Is that the thing I took today?
That is.
That's the thing I took today.
I remember there was all that hustle and bustle about Amazon ripping it off because the FDA is coming out. NAC has been studied since the 60s. There have been studies done on it since the 1960s. So it's been in the common use for about going on 60 years now.
So I could have found it on the shelf in the 90s.
Yeah. Yeah, you could have easily. Yeah.
Good to know.
I mean, it's been used for, but part of the reason is that there were some stupid supplement companies making
recently.
Not unscrupulous, but just not smart claims saying it cures hangovers, and you can't make structure function claims for something a dietary supplement. The second you say can treat this, can cure this, that is a structure and function claim.
They obviously didn't have you writing for them.
So that means it is technically classified as a drug.
Okay.
So NAC has a very high safety profile. It is incredibly effective, high bioavailability, all that good stuff. All it is an enhanced form of an amino acid called cysteine. So it's got an acetyl group bonded to cysteine that just enhances the bioavailability and the uptake of it.
Helps my liver, right?
Helps your liver.
Could potentially, maybe.
Could support.
Maybe kind of does.
Optimal healthy liver function. Could potentially maybe benefit. You do. You are way too all over the place.
I need like a camera.
Liver function. It's been shown to reduce severity and duration and improve respiratory health.
Has been maybe kind of might show.
To do that, yeah. Maybe prevent acetaminophen-induced liver toxicity.
Which I need because I be taking me some NSAIDs and acetaminophen kind of often. I get headaches, guys. Yeah. I get headaches.
So, I mean, Amazon got trigger happy because the FDA sent those no letters to the supplement companies that were saying it can cure a hangover, which it can't.
Nothing can cure a hangover other than it's dehydration.
Well, it's dehydration, lack of electrolytes, vitamins, minerals.
So just drink some.
It's a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
Plus you have like leftover when alcohol gets metabolized into acetaldehyde and it's all of its other little like secondary, tertiary, quaternary metabolites. All of those things get built up. Those kind of like remain, and your body's ability to like buffer and excrete them would also accelerate either getting rid of the hangover or just not having it happen in the first place.
That was the question I asked Robert today. Is I said, so if I'm going to take it, is it something like creatine that needs to build up in your system over a certain amount of time? And he said it is not like that. It's like if I think I'm going to be doing some damage to my liver today, I better be taking some of this to help me.
Part of it depends on what your daily habits. So, I mean, if you're somebody that's taking very harsh oral supplements, special sports supplements, or taking a lot of NSAIDs, drinking a lot of alcohol, or even moderate amounts of alcohol, it's a good thing to take on those kind of days. Just because N-acetylcysteine is a natural, powerful antioxidant, but it's also a building block for glutathione, which is one of kind of like the master antioxidants in the body. So it's got a bunch of really, really good benefits through its anti-inflammatory, antioxidant pathways and stuff like that.
Got it.
It's not banned outright. And so the CRN, the Council for Responsible Nutrition, has issued like a 180-day ultimatum, not an official ultimatum, but they said, hey, you better rule on this like obscurity. Like it's either a dietary supplement or it's not, because the CRN's got a bunch of like backlog data that it sent saying, hey, we're all fine with the NAC. It's fine. It's got a high safety profile. The only reason now it's coming under fire is because it's starting to be looked at as a potential drug therapy for
if it was
the unknown virus of unspecified origins.
So you're saying that within the next 180 days, somebody's going to make a decision on it.
They've said that they would like a decision
So
made
when
on
he
this.
says people spending hundreds of bucks, if I'm not mistaken, they were going on sale actually. So it's actually like you're spending less money than you otherwise would.
NutriCost, where I get a lot of my bulk supplements from, did a buy one get one free like right after that first thing happened. I thought, hey, I'm gonna load up. But now it's funny. Now it's like buy two get one, so I get the better deal like the first day or two afterwards. So it's only banned on Amazon, but there are a bunch of major supplement companies
that are still selling
it either in bulk form or
it's
as
like
part
vitamins.
of a thing. So yeah,
it's like vitamins, true meant in the simile form.
Yes, it's that and many other respiratory distress symptoms, possibly potentially helping, may assist.
Perhaps
with,
maybe. May
assist with
could not.
Yeah. Exaggerating false claims for why we can't. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Thank all the asshole supplement companies on the industry that do that.
Yeah. When Robert writes, he always puts maybe, might, not, might, could.
Well, I mean, I was going back and looking at some of my early articles from like 2015 and 2016. It's so over the top and obnoxious, like some of the product copy I was writing for brands at the time. Because
this is amazing.
It wasn't even that. It was like, this will ignite your senses. Cause
your poetry.
It was poetry. It was way over the top. But everybody was doing that at the time. It was like guaranteed muscle growth, extreme.
Did I just
skin tearing pumps and all
Robert
that shit.
Shinetsky use everyone was doing it as a reason for doing something?
No, I'm just saying.
That's a shocker.
No, what I'm saying is
Robert's countercultural.
That's the way the industry was writing. That's how you wrote. I mean, go back at Mad Men. Look at the way they were doing stuff. So yeah. It's you could do that, but now everything is may support, evidence indicates, evidence suggests.
So I was thinking about it.
Wait, we got a more important question first. Creamy. Have you guys ever had birria tacos?
Where's that?
If not, and you enjoy Mexican food, please try it. Thank you, Creamy.
I will. And did I mention that I've had Gordo's? I finally had the donut sandwich place. It's called Gordo's, right?
Yeah.
It was a food truck at my prom, and I ate 5 of them, and they were delicious. Yeah. I learned that the donut, I don't even think it's sweetened. I think it's just the donut minus the sugar, and that's the bread. I could be wrong. I'm not going to sit there and claim it might not have sugar. I don't really know. But the donut, it's not like I'm eating a donut. It's not like I'm eating a glazed donut on top of a Cuban sandwich. It's light. It's the texture of a donut as my bread. It was magical. Now I understand. When somebody's like, yeah, it's donut as the bread, I'm like, that sounds nasty. That's disgusting. I don't want your glazed donut on my Cuban or my bacon and guacamole. It's disgusting. But it's not. It's not sweet. It's just light and airy bread, like a donut, minus the sugar. But then it's got all the stuff inside. Oh my God, so good, guys. Bacon me crazy. That was the one that was the best. Bacon me crazy. And other people told me that the Cuban was better and that the 3 Guidos, whatever, it was something like 3 Italians, whatever. No, bacon me crazy is better than the 3 Guidos and what did I say? Cuban.
Oh, everything is better with bacon. That's cheating.
So it had guacamole on it, or avocado, whatever. It was just mushed up avocado. It was so good.
I'm gonna look up what in the world these birria tacos are.
Yeah, birria.
Sandy, you like sickies in North Dakota.
I bet I would. I bet I would like a lot of things. I like food a lot. Funny story.
It shows. I mean,
yesterday I ordered a large Greek salad from this place that the large is literally in a bowl. I mean, it's like half a helmet. You know what I'm saying? I ate the whole thing, and then I was like, I'm going to get a calzone, and I'm going to get jalapenos and pepperoni, right? And I ate, and I was like, I'm going to take half of it home. And then I ate half the calzone. I was like, it's funny as I'm still hungry. So then I ate the other half. I ate the whole thing. I don't know how many calories it was, but it was delicious. And then I went and had ice cream after that happened.
Creamy, I got a question.
What?
Does Creamy live in Austin? Because it's Gordo's and then Birria Tacos is on South Lamar.
Oh, yeah, South Lamar. I love South Lamar.
Yeah. So
South Lamar has everything.
Do you live in Austin, Creamy? Or have you lived in Austin previously?
Maybe he's a food critic.
Maybe so.
So wait, I want to go to Birria.
Yeah.
Do they have lengua? That'd
be nice if they
did. Can we look at the website
We're going to do that right now. Do they have
I
it?
love lengua tacos. So let me tell you something. The only place I go is a place called Los Jalapenos in San Antonio. Hold on, let me see. We're going to look right now. Hold on. Tacos. That's it. Here we go. Barbacoa. I like it. Chicken, avocado, black bean, consomme. Sorry.
Large consomme. Goat tacos.
Goat taco.
I'd be okay with goat.
Cochinita pibil.
That works.
Hold on. I'm looking at the breakfast tacos. Hold on.
Pork
okay,
pie.
so they don't have lengua. That's okay, guys. It's okay.
No, but I'd try the goat.
I would pretty much try all of it.
Yeah. I'm not a big barbacoa. I mean, I think it's because of bad experiences with your mom's making it. Is that the one that they always make?
Why are you going to get it? I think you get creeped out by how greasy it is. It's delicious. That's why you put the onions and the cilantro.
When they take something that's been in the freezer for 6
lime.
months and then open it up and like start cooking it for us.
Well, my parents' eating habits are kind of gross. I'm not going to lie. It's a little nasty. You do.
Okay, do not live in Austin.
Ha! Yeah. Called it.
Okay. Actually, well, actually, no. I have your address because you sent it to me to send you the package. That makes sense.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Yeah. It's like how I respond to questions at work. My answer is normally yeah.
Maybe not.
I
feel like we're not allowed to make declarative sentences anymore. Like we're not allowed to have an opinion on anything. Everything has to be like your truth. I'm like 2 + 2 is 4, y'all. There is no nothing iffy about it. I don't like all the iffy gray. I'm like, that movie's good. Done. It's funny. Done. And by the way, it's hard to find a good comedy. And I got to tell you, I have old person humor. Like I'm in my 60s. Like I'm a 1960s. No, like I was born in the 1950s. That's my sense of humor. I really like the Kaminsky Method on Netflix. It's kind of funny. It's just PS. Okay, what were you saying?
I don't remember.
I have strong opinions.
The answer is it depends. So like when Steve and I do the lives on Fridays on the Massive Iron channel, we get so many questions and they're saying, well, is this the best this or what's the best way to do that? I'm thinking, or what should I use? I'm thinking the answer is, you said, should I take my protein shake now or later?
So that does depend. Human body.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. But I mean, you can't just say it depends blanketly. Like you have to say it depends, but then give the other like qualifiers for that. So it depends on what are the things it depends on. You can't just say, well, it depends. Okay. You need to be able to like give some granularity and clarification to the situation.
Okay, so I'm a big picture kind of person. I feel like, Steve, I find that so funny, by the way, that I feel like growing up, I was more interested in like various opinions and whatever. And you are all, it's black, it's white. And now as we've gotten older, I find myself getting deeper and deeper into the math world, which is all set in stone. And you're all in the science, inductive reasoning that changes literally daily. So I find that so fascinating. It's like we've switched sides. You're playing for the other team.
No. Maybe I'm a secret agent. I'm really just trying to sneak out. No. At my core, there's still very much a black and white. It's soul inside of me. But with the supplement stuff, like it's not.
With the human body, the human physiology, I feel like it's all iffy.
Right.
Okay, just saying.
Okay.
I have strong opinions about a lot of things.
I never could have told.
Just saying. I like how you put it to where you can't see our faces.
That was on purpose. We're covering up the ugly. We get more viewers when our face is covered up. It's statistically proven.
Okay.
Interested. This is the first time your comments actually come through, CJ.
CJ, go ahead.
Interested to see how the Massive Iron Pre will be able to adjust caffeine levels. I like high stems for back and legs, but low stem, high pumps for chest, shoulders, arms. Can we get a sneak peek? Interesting. Like those are the 2 workouts I don't want high stems. I don't want high stems for legs. Absolutely not. But chest, shoulders, arms, back, I could handle.
Why don't you want high stems for legs?
Because my heart rate already gets jacked up enough when I'm doing like the heavyweighted Bulgarians and the walking lunges.
I think it's because you like legs and you don't need something to pump you up. Everybody else in the wide world doesn't like legs. I'm sorry, we don't leg day. I hear the boys at my school, they're like, oh, leg day. I need the high stem because I got to get myself to do it. But you, on the other hand, you love leg day. You were so happy. What was it? Thanksgiving? You were like, leg day.
It was. It worked. Well, it happened on Thanksgiving and Christmas Day.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. And I think New Year's, because those are a week apart. So
I was writing in like my journal and it was our anniversary. It was like our 11-year anniversary. And it was like, so we went outside and did back.
And my birthday last year, because my parents were here on my birthday last year. And it was,
I remember that. That was a chest and back day.
Was it or was it legs?
That's a good question, actually. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. We worked out a lot.
That's good stuff.
Okay. So you're going to have a variation?
You're going to have, you're going to be able to adjust your stim load based on your preference for that day or for the workout. So you're going to have the pump and performance powder, and then you're going to have your stimulants that you can adjust on the fly. That's about all I'm going to say on it.
Stimulants as you want.
And then we got this character checking in. What is going on, Philip?
Let's talk about this story.
The only thing I can say on this discussion is absolutely that.
Let's talk about this.
I don't think we need to.
Let's talk about this story.
Oh, wait, look at that. We got another comment in the thread. Like, damn, say no to this. It depends.
There's a story for the absolute value.
Well, no, this is the way we grew up. There's the right way, there's the wrong way, and there's the Shinetsky way. The Shinetsky way supersedes all other ways.
I'm a Shinetsky now.
You're a wannabe.
No.
You are not a biological Shinetsky.
I am always right. Okay, cool.
No, you've got like a half retarded side. You've got the Shinetsky side. Well, actually, no. There's the Shinetsky side too. You're like, it's the...
I'm going to tell you right now, I got a name for Shinetsky. Everybody at my school knows Shinetsky, and it's a little different than your family is.
Norm is spinning in his grave right now.
It's so funny because my maiden name was so bland and mundane. It was Robertson. And they're like, no, Shinetsky fits you better. I'm like, yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. In fact, Shinetsky Shenanigans was my field day name one time. And we won field day with Shinetsky Shenanigans.
My grandfather is spinning in his grave right now.
Whatever, it's really cool.
Okay, so do we need... And Philip, you tripped over the leg of the coffee table before we go anywhere else.
Do we want to talk about absolute value, Robert? Do you want to talk about how...
Not really.
Someone struggled in 8th grade Algebra 1.
With one concept.
With a little thing called absolute value. Why are there two answers? Robert just didn't get it. I don't know. Is that what it was? It was like an equation. You couldn't understand why there were two answers.
I don't remember what it was.
Was it inequalities?
Chances are it was probably a Monday. And
Robert always got migraines.
I always got migraines on Mondays, and my dad's...
That's psychological, y'all. You know that's psychological.
I always had every Monday without fail. I mean, Philip watching this, he can attest to that.
That means it's psychological. It's not like there's things
in the
wind.
And always have it, and like I would come home, throw up, fall asleep for 2 hours, wake up, do my homework, and then go to bed. It's not a pleasant existence on Mondays. Probably started around 7th grade.
Okay, so I'm good. Like I said, I graded a thesis on the placebo effect, and it was how basically we always talk about the placebo effect. It's a thing where we know it exists, and yet we kind of just leave it in the air like that, but no one ever stops to think about, the placebo effect. And this kid's argument was that doctors should prescribe placebos for certain conditions, not like cancer, but, for other conditions. Like they did a study, what was it for 70% of teenagers with anxiety disorders were given a placebo and they felt better. No more anxiety. I was like, I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but maybe it doesn't exist as often as you think it does. Someone pushing you, on the other hand, is a fact. That was this guy.
Tripped. I did not push. And you know what? There were no security cameras or nanny cams back in the day. So we will just never know.
So I'm just going to say, I think we should answer that guy's question because I think the answer is yes. Placebo. Oh.
So it will be two separate products or same product, but two tubs?
I thought you'll have two.
I don't know.
Oh, we don't know. Because it depends.
The answer will be no, but I take it that it will be Australia compliant because we're not putting any agmatine in there. We're not putting any yohimbine in there. There's no dynamine in there either. So all this stuff that we have thus far, everything that I've got in there, I believe, is compliant all the way around. That was what I wanted to do. Come on, focus. There we go. Stupid new camera.
Oh, that's so funny. It is. It's like a person who's dazing.
Yeah. Focus. All right. But no, the goal with this, that for the Massive Iron Pre, the first iteration of it, is that it's going to be compliant because some of Sandy's high school students purchased the creatine. We're going to have a product that they can use there. And so Steve and I are eventually going to release like a hardcore stim blend that's going to have some of like the bonus exotic kind of stuff in there. If our manufacturer can find a decent quality of it and it lives up to the snuff. But I mean, the basic stimulant ingredients in there, it's going to be, it's going to have a caffeine base, and there's going to be some other things in there that are going to work with the caffeine to kind of enhance the neurosensory and alertness, cognitive focus aspect.
That's separate?
Of it. Yeah.
I like that idea.
But so, I mean, we're stacking two things. So you're going to have the regular powder that's got all your performance.
You can mix
stuff
and
in
match.
There. And then the separate thing, we're deciding, is it going to be capsules, powder, chewies,
like an apothecary.
And you're going to be able to dose however much stimulant you want in there.
I think if you're going to dose it, it should be powder.
Well, the issue is that, so caffeine powder on its own has been banned because you have more.
People do it too much. Okay, gotcha.
Right, and so people like to do heaping or like super heaping scoops of stuff, and
when
you're dealing with just a little bit of caffeine.
Okay.
Yeah, a little goes a long way. So
I hear you.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful.
Tripped until I die. Are there any supplements that there are supplements that can support potentially
But maybe,
aiding cardiovascular
perhaps,
function.
or not.
Or
maybe.
It kind of depends. Are you looking for something as far as
Cheerios? Sorry. You know you guys were thinking it. You were thinking it.
Are we talking like blood pressure,
that's a good
endothelial
question.
function, or are we talking more like lipids? Because there's a couple of different things we can spin that. But off the top of my head, grapeseed, vasodrive AP, or the amyl peptide stuff. Olive leaf extracts got some really good stuff for your lipids. Citrus bergamot is another one. There's a bunch of stuff like that. So that's that's 4 off the top of my head right there.
True love.
Still waiting for that one to come around. But,
You like that?
Yeah, I do. That was a good one. That was a good one. Yeah, that was a good one.
Being loved and accepted and seen for who you are.
CoQ10 is another good one. And actually D-ribose, which can be found in massive iron creatine, also has some pretty good data on heart contractility function and some other good things as far as overall cardiac function.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Okay, I'm actually going to be serious, and I mean this sincerely. I think being happy in your life is the best thing you can do for all your physical needs. Okay, so here's my argument. I was talking to my friend, Christopher Jackson, and he and I were talking. I'm not going to talk about where he is. It's fine. He and I talk about ideas. But he and I were talking about greatness. And he was talking about like society and people that are willing to make social changes. Mostly we're talking history, okay? This relates, I swear. And we were talking, and he was under the impression that like great people are always radical. And I was like, well, they have to be radical because if they went with the flow, they wouldn't be great, right? Mm-hmm. Like they would just be like everybody else. So there's got to be something countercultural about them. Yeah. But here's my argument. I think the reason why society is not good and there's not more people willing to make a stand is because they are, wait for it, miserable. Now, here's my argument. I think if people were genuinely happy, if they were living lives without fear, if they were living lives they were proud of and they didn't settle, they would know happiness exists. I think the average person says, you don't love your job. Everybody's in an unhappy marriage. Everybody hates their job. Everybody hates their kids. So if I'm miserable, you're miserable, we're all miserable. There's nothing you can do about it. If you live in that world of misery, there's no reason for you to go around trying to change the world because in your mind, you're just always miserable and the world is miserable. There's nothing you can do about it, right? Now let's say you make choices that make you happy. You choose a job you love and it fulfills you. You choose a wife or a husband that you wake up and you're grateful for and they lower your blood pressure. There was a study done with couples that were married. I guess I should have said married couples. It was shorter and more concise. But there was a study done with married couples and the married couples that claimed or took a test that claimed to be happy when they were together, their blood pressure went down. They were less stressed. And then the couples that were self-proclaimed not in a happy marriage, when they were together, their blood pressure went up. No. Their blood pressure went up and they were more in a stressful situation. Now I need you to imagine you're that married couple and every day your partner makes you stressed. Now imagine your job also makes you stressed and your kids make you stressed and your house makes you stressed. I would assume you have some physical issues manifesting themselves because of your unhappy lifestyle. So my argument is make yourself happy by making good choices in your life, the things you can choose. You can choose your job. You can choose your marriage. You can choose the food you eat. You can choose the things you do for fun. You can choose all these things. When you choose those things, you can choose not to listen to the news. Funny story. I never do. Hey. And we just got a new influx of books that I'm going to talk about them later, but I've got the writings of Marcus Aurelius and Plutarch and Benjamin Franklin. Anyways, so what I'm saying is if you're happy and you make these choices to be happy, you're going to be more inclined to look at the world and say, you know what? Those people can be happy too because you know it exists and you're willing to go out of your way to make somebody else happy. Therefore, I think, and I know this sounds weird, you actually need to be selfish before you can help others. Because if you don't get your life together, you're not going to think it's possible to get anybody else's life together. There's no reason for you to go out of your way to make someone happy because you're going to be like, well, we're all miserable, so just suck it up and deal with it. So that's my excuse. So when it comes to your physical body, number one thing you need to do is get your life right. And yeah, it's okay to quit your job because this guy was making $80,000 a year at engineering and he quit his engineering job to make $1,000 a month. He doesn't make that anymore, but he was making $1,000 a month. And he was like, what about our kids? I was like, we didn't have any kids at the time. I was like, what do you do? Our imaginary kids? Are you going to sacrifice our imaginary kids we don't even have? So yeah, he quit. I'm going to say it again. $80,000 a year to make $1,000 a month. You do the math. That's less. And he did it. And he was happy. I bet his health took a toll for the best. We don't know because we didn't go to the doctor. But I'm pretty sure it would have been if we did. So all I'm saying is first get your life right, then ask about supplements. There's a lot of things you can control. Both Christopher Jackson and I agree with that. And I bet you want to know who Christopher Jackson is? He is my friend in a, wait for it, federal prison. Yeah, he's been in prison for 15 years. And he and I are on the same page about choosing things for your life and having a positive outlook on life. So if you think that your life sucks, imagine being in prison for 15 years. It's not where you are or what life you have. It's your perspective. Now you can talk about supplements. Go ahead. Because I just won the argument. Absolute value. Thank you.
I don't think
Thank you, Brooke.
We probably should just cut the podcast right there for today. We'll just
No, it's okay. I'm not done with my drink yet.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Blood pressure, heart health. Let's go CoQ10, olive leaf extract, grapeseed extract, pine bark extract could be used too. I mean, both of them work by increasing, supporting better blood flow in the body, improving nitric oxide production, improving endothelial function, getting rid of some of the oxidative stress markers that could be impairing nitric oxide production in the body with the proanthocyanidins and other fun little polyphenols and flavonoids that are in pine bark extract and grapeseed extract. Vaso-6, really solid.
I know what that is. No, I don't. I just know the name.
Yeah, Vaso-6, well, I mean, it's like a super potent kind of green tea extract. It's more than that, but that at its core, it's derived from green tea leaves.
Gotcha.
So, we've got that. You could also look into Vasodrive AP, which expands blood vessels by inhibiting angiotensin converting enzyme. So it's an ACE inhibitor, and that can do that. It'll help drop blood pressure a little bit. Eating a nitrate-rich diet, so like beets, dark leafy greens, spinach.
Would pickling a beet still give me the nitrates that I need in a beet? Or would that destroy it? It's a chemical change, right? Yeah,
I think it would still retain some of the nitrates in there.
Because that's the only beet I would eat.
You could take any of, like, if your pump pre-workout has some kind of nitrates in it, like a betaine nitrate, arginine nitrate, sodium nitrate, potassium nitrate, any of those will work too.
Gotcha.
Olive leaf extract. Citrus bergamot is more for lipid health.
Okay.
Those are pretty much the heavy hitters.
Anything to stay away from?
Stressful people.
As I've said.
I'm hesitant to say avoid sodium because that's a very individual thing. If you're an otherwise healthy individual with no impaired kidney function, you don't really, or pre-existing blood pressure issues, you don't really need to worry about eating a low sodium diet or anything like that.
My sister has really low blood pressure and eats a ton of salt. Yeah. So there can't be always this direct correlation. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's going on, Devin?
I guess I'm pinky.
Yes. I don't think that was ever a thing. I run a supplement store in Australia. Do you have an ETA? I have the pricing from the manufacturer, and so the raw cost of goods. So the prices of creatine and caffeine right now are 4x and 5x of what they usually are. Plastic, like the plastic tub, the plastic scooper, those are even more expensive than what they should.
Lids.
So
right?
Yeah, I got the initial cost of goods, so including bottles, labels, and all of the ingredients. Initial cost of goods for the initial lineup of stuff, $25. Which means
per bottle?
Per tub, yeah. Which means we would need to sell it for like $55 or $60. Yeah. So I might be tweaking a couple of things on that.
We'll see.
As it stands right now,
put it in a non-plastic container.
Yeah, give them a little baggie.
Give them a little baggie.
So as it stands right now, I've got 6 grams of citrulline in there, 1.5 grams of nitrosamine, and a bunch of other stuff. I'm trying to decide.
Stop telling people what you do.
It's fine.
That's your secret recipe.
No, I'm trying to decide. So, the efficacious dose of citrulline is anywhere between 3 grams to 10 grams. But the industry has it stuck in its head now that 6 grams is the minimum effective dose for citrulline, which it's not.
It's not, guys.
And so,
they're lying to you.
You're playing in this game of, hey, I understand the science, but as the average consumer that's just looking at that, they're going to see 3 grams of citrulline, and they're going to go read something stupid on Cage Muscle's website or some other brand say, 6 grams is not the efficacious dose, and that's just not true.
That's just not true, guys.
So I'm kind of going back and forth on a couple of ingredients like that. Yeah.
Knowledge.
Will I do a tour?
That's a good idea. Do it.
Sure. If y'all want to pay for me to fly down to Australia, yeah, I'll do that tour.
You know people in. Oh wait, no, your friend is in New Zealand.
Yeah, Shane's in New Zealand.
That's close enough. Once you're down there, just
hop on a kangaroo and just hop over.
Do they have a Lord of the Rings tour? I think they do.
That'd be in New Zealand, not Australia.
I'm just saying. I would visit Australia with you. Could it be in the summer, y'all's winter? Is it still nice then? Is it still nice in the winter? Is it nice now? Ask that.
Ask it. You're talking directly to the camera.
Right. But
You have an open window to his soul right now.
Is it nice weather in Australia in the months of June and July? That's my question.
We can ask Shane. I can ask Shane on Saturday. What's your experience, thoughts on Imodine and ashwagandha schisandra versus stacking?
That's
Is that
my name.
too much anti-cortisol?
Is that a healthy ingredient, the one that has my name in it?
The schisandra.
That has like
chinensis?
Shinetsky and Sandra mixed together. That's got to be a good ingredient. What is that? That's Shinetsky Sandra. What's my ingredient? Tell me. What do I do?
They're both adaptogens that improve the body's cortisol response, so your ability to perceive, interact, and recover from stress.
You're welcome. That's exactly what I do. They named it after me. Shinetsky Sandra. Shisandra. You don't have an ingredient. You don't have one. I do.
Maybe I have a special trademark ingredient coming in the Massive Iron Pre-Workout. That's called. No, I don't.
That's really cool.
I've actually never messed with Imodine
My
before.
name?
I know Chemix, so Gorilla Chemist Brian has it in a supplement in his quarter block, I think is what it's called. And Morphogen Ben has also released a supplement with Imodine in it as well. I actually haven't used it myself. I don't have too much stress unless, sometimes when external family's involved.
They were not stressful this time.
No, your parents are fine. I'm talking about the four horsemen of the apocalypse that they're gallivanting around.
Oh, the nephews and nieces.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That's the only time my blood pressure gets raised.
It doesn't raise mine. If they run into the street, so be it. Just don't take my daughter with you. She has to stay.
Yeah. Overall, I don't have any stacking multiple adaptogens. It's going to be a dose kind of thing. So if you take a look at something like Genius Joy, which Sandy and I swear by, it's magical.
I love that
stuff. It's got SAMe and it's got rhodiola, it's got tyrosine, it's got some 5-HTP in it. No, it doesn't actually have any schisandra in it. It's got theanine in it. It's got some really good stuff. So if you're going to stack them, I would probably start off with half dosages of multiple. If you're going to stack multiple adaptogens together, probably start off with probably a half dose each and then just kind of see it from there. But I've gotten really good results from just a basic thing of like 600 KSM and a little bit of theanine. I've never mixed ashwagandha with schisandra, but I have mixed ashwagandha with rhodiola before, and that's worked pretty well for me.
There you go.
Like that, doing 300 milligrams of KSM 66 and 300 milligrams of rhodiola, where it's 3% rosivins, 1% salicylate, because they have different standardizations of rhodiola on the market. So I'll do KSM. If you're going to do something with a higher withanolide content for ashwagandha, so something like a Sensoril or the Shodan, definitely start on the lower end of the dosing with that, because Shodan is in Serenity by Glaxon. And that one, ooh, you get super duper mellow on that.
That sounds good.
It's great. It's fantastic. I would give that to you sometimes.
Have I had that?
Yeah, you've had that
For
before.
bedtime?
Yeah, during the early part of this semester. I give it to you in the latter part of last semester too.
Sometimes, guys, I have a lot on my plate.
Yeah. But yeah, both of those are good. I don't think it's too much anti-cortisol. I wouldn't recommend taking it first thing in the morning, because that's your body's natural function, is to kick out a high load of cortisol to just get your ass up and moving in the morning. But as the day's winding down, if maybe you're feeling stressed about work or home life, or you got deadlines coming up or something like that, you might want to modulate the cortisol response a little bit. And I know you read certain fitness websites, there's a lot of fear mongering around cortisol. Like you read a lot of,
like, if you manipulate it, you've ruined it forever or something.
No. Like you read some articles on T Nation, and you're saying cortisol is the killer of gains and all of that kind of stuff. And they're saying, don't work out too hard because your cortisol levels are going to be too high. That's a gross over exaggeration of that. So cortisol, to a certain extent, helps you perform better, because it helps metabolize energy for usage, and so you can be burned during exercise, or like that's why we had our initial fight or flight response. So you got a cheetah running at you haul ass and go, whether you got fuel in your body or not. It can help mobilize fat stores and things like that. Exactly, yeah. Where cortisol becomes the enemy is when it is chronically elevated. Like you hate your job, you hate your wife, you hate your kids, you hate your financial situation, you hate your house, you hate the commute to work, all of that stuff. When you are living in like a 24/7 endless vicious cycle of cortisol, that's when cortisol crushes your gains and, prevents you from being productive in work,
So
life,
cyclical in the
relationships and
day
stuff.
for the right reason is fine.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be diurnal variations in cortisol. Like it's high up in the morning when that, and then there's like kind of like another peak around the midday to kind of give you that extra boost in energy and wakefulness and stuff like that. Sometimes it happens. And so like at the end of the day, you want to start figuring out ways to kind of lower cortisol to get your body into that more chill, relaxed state. And that's going to be set the stage for a productive night's rest. That's why a lot of these sleep agents, they don't just have melatonin in them. They've got stuff that lowers cortisol and improves just feelings of kind of like calm, relaxed. So you got theanine.
Bob Ross
you get
does that too,
ashwagandha,
guys.
That, yeah.
Sorry.
So,
I love watching Bob Ross
those are those
before
things.
bed.
I do need to get some Emodin and try just to see what it feels like. But I know like Genius Joy, if you want to feel something that just kind of makes you feel like nothing, like you were just a chilled duck on a pond.
That's it. Anything can be thrown at you. It's like your car. You could pop all 4 tires on this crazy pothole. And if you're on Genius Joy, you're like, well,
it's fine.
It's fine. I've got a book I can read. I can wait. Like nothing affects you. And it's awesome because sometimes bad things could happen to you and you don't really want to feel the effects of it.
Yeah.
It's nice. You almost feel like a superhero.
Better than America's winter.
Australia.
Yeah.
So I don't think I could go in their summer. That would be like December, right?
Here, yeah.
Well, I guess I could go during exams. It'd be like, because you have to go for like 3 weeks. It's like a 2-day flight or something crazy like that.
Probably so.
And we probably wouldn't fly first class.
Is it humid? Is it very humid in Australia?
Probably not in December.
No,
maybe the beginning of the summer.
No, I was saying in his summer because he said the summers are bad. But I'm just
I was saying in December, which is his summer.
How bad are the summers there compared to the summers here? Is what I'm saying.
I know, but what I'm saying is, if a summer gets bad, it gets bad. It's not bad at the beginning of the summer.
Correct.
It would be. What I'm saying is, if we went in December, it wouldn't matter if it gets bad because it wouldn't be bad in December. That was my argument. That's all I was saying. Because we'd have to go in December if we're going to go for like 3 weeks. We just hit up Christmas there. What?
What's wrong with the winter there?
Australian summer. He says come in Australian summer. Are you under the impression that Australian summer is June, July, and August? Because it's not.
No, I'm not.
Then we would go in December. I feel like we're having... What is happening now?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm the one that's drinking. I feel like you're loopy.
No, not yet.
We'll see.
We'll see. I was fighting a migraine the first half of the day.
It was like it was a Monday, and it wasn't. It was a Thursday.
No, I don't know what the hell it was.
I think I know what it is. It's the fact that he knew he didn't have to see the family today, and he just turned it all off. I think that's what you do. You have, like, I don't doubt that you have a migraine. I believe it's real. But I also believe that it's like self-induced somehow. It's psychosomatic. You're a little...
No, I mean, I was fine yesterday. I didn't have one. And we actually had to see them yesterday.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Today you were like, ugh, it was over.
But that should have made me feel better, not giving me a headache.
No, it gave you a headache because your body was tired of fighting. I hear you. Because I always nap. Like, when I'm going to the school year, I'm fine. And then the second that, like, my adrenaline stops going, then my body's like, ugh. And so when your body goes, ugh, that's when you get a migraine. I'm convinced.
So I just never let myself relax is pretty much what you're saying.
Okay. Or give yourself a day or two.
Brooke, thank you so much. You are awesome.
She's right, because I keep doubting whether or not I should be here.
Can I refund your $5, Brooke, and we hold open auditions for co-hosts? Thank you. Seriously, Brooke, thank you for everything. Thank you very much.
Yes, we appreciate you.
Yes. That'll pay for me. That'll buy me a bourbon this weekend.
Buy you a bourbon.
It will.
That makes more sense.
Yes, very humid. See? Depends on the area you go.
Well, you're used to humidity.
I am. I grew up in swamp-ass territory.
Would you try surfing?
Yeah.
I feel like you'd be so good at surfing. I feel like anyone who's good at yoga, because you have balance, right? It's all about knowing your body and like knowing how to handle it.
Before I ever tried yoga. I mean, I got that from Taekwondo and everything else.
Okay, well, I don't have good balance, so I would... I'm not good at yoga. I'm not good at balance. I'm not good at surfing. I can pretty much guarantee that.
What we should do, you should show them your audition for the your action movie.
Okay, so wait a minute. This is during the before shot too, because it was my first day going back to working out. So now I'm working out every day. That's why I could eat the calzone and the Greek salad. Anyways, and I told Robert, I have these daydreams, like somehow, some way, I'm going to get to audition for an Avengers movie. Like, it's going to be great. So anyways, I'm going to be like the unknown Avenger character. I was considering myself a bad guy, but you never know. But anyways, I was like, Robert, I already know what I'm going to say. Like in the audition, the director is going to look at me and say, do you know any martial arts? To which I will reply, well, my husband is a black belt in Taekwondo. See how I didn't answer that question, but it sounds like the answer is yes. That's what I was going to do, right? Like, I don't know. Does anybody else have these goofball fantasies? Okay, maybe it's just me. But anyways, I was telling Robert before we work out, I was like, hey, I have this idea of like some moves I could do to make it look like I know what I'm doing. Like videotape me and see if this would work. And so like I videotaped myself doing some Taekwondo moves. Were they Taekwondo moves? I don't know. It was Kenpo moves from P90X.
Well, now that we have this little camera that we can take around with us, I mean, we can film you in high def looking like a spaz.
So I think the funny part is I didn't look that bad.
No.
Right? I looked kind of good. I was like, I could pull it off. Like it's a movie. Like, nobody knows. But then it was funny because I was so proud of myself when I got done doing my like, wah, wah. And I did like a back and like a back kick. And I look at him and I was all proud of myself. And the second I was done, I was like, ah!
Completely dropped character.
Which means I could get into character. So, if you guys need an Avenger bad guy, I'm your girl. I look super fit for a year-old. My students still think I'm in my 20s. They still ask me if I ever want kids. Ms. Shanetsky, you ever going to have kids? I'm like, that's a funny question. I already have a 3-year-old, so we're good. So I just don't,
Soon to be 4.
I compartmentalize is the thing. When I'm business, I'm business. I don't even be talking about my daughter in the middle of math class.
All right. There's your weekly plug for your cocktail. So many.
Oh,
so
I
many.
love Nootropics. I love Mastermind.
Yeah, so there's Mastermind by Apollo Hegemony, which is a Polish brand. So Lucas hooks us up, my Polish brother from another member. Senses that. Ooh, which reminds me, go check the front door real quick.
Okay.
Because we're supposed to have a package from Crazy Uncle Lucas coming.
Cool.
Anytime today. Okay. Are we talking pre-made nootropic, like a whole built thing, like a all-inclusive powder? Or are you talking like individual ingredients? Because there's a few individual ingredients I've been toying around with lately that I'm going to be working on for a brand that's going to be releasing a nootropic pretty soon, like the next 8 to 10 weeks. It should be coming out. But some standalone nootropics I really like. Utopia by Elemental Formulations is great. What?
The FedEx truck is literally pulling up outside of our house right now. What are you, psychic? I saw it go past our house, stop, and reverse. And then reverse and came right back to our house. And I was like, I don't want to be the awkward person like opening the door and be like, hi, I've been waiting for you. So I'm going to wait a second. But that's weird.
So all inclusive. So a few standalone ingredients I like for nootropics. Caffeine, obviously. Lion's mane, yes. 1 to 2 grams of that. 1 to 2 grams of acetyl L-carnitine a day. 300 milligrams of CDP choline. I like rhodiola too. It's more of an adaptogen, but it's got some nootropic benefits too. Huperzine used sparingly, and if I have enough CDP choline and Alcar, I don't really need the Huperzine. It's good on its own. There's a GABA antagonist compound that I'm using yet, but I don't want to really release the name of it because that's coming out in a new product, and there's not many brands using it as of yet. So we'll save that, and then when it gets released, I can speak.
We'll give you a special code.
I'm not going to get into all of that.
Are we going to give you a special code?
Probably. I mean, I'll talk to...
Get a special code, Robert. Give these people a discount.
I'll talk to the owner and see. He can probably hook us up with it. So yeah, New Level's an interesting thing. New Level is basically like the gamer version of nitrosogene, so it increases cerebral blood flow. But I mean, you can easily use vinpocetine, which does that too, and it costs a fraction of things. So I got the costs for nitrosogene for the pre-workout that we're using. And in each tub, so a 20 serving tub or 25 serving tub, it costs $2 on cost of goods. $2, somewhere between $2 and like $2.50 worth of stuff. So, I'm not nuts on that. Pine bark extract's another one that you can include for cerebral blood flow. As far as fully built out, all-inclusive nootropics, Core Nutritionals nootropic is really good. Morphobrain by Morphogen Nutrition is solid. Orange Brainwash by Controlled Labs is great. Focus XT by SNS is solid. Utopia by Elemental Formulations is another really good one. Overtime, obviously, by Apollon is fantastic.
This is so weird. Am I the only one that thinks it's weird?
Here we go. Is this?
Yeah, it says it's from Lucas.
Lucas Jashko. I can't even pronounce what the word is. Yeah. But yeah, here we go. We got Crazy Uncle Lucas's package here. Thank you, Lucas.
Do you want to open it?
Yeah. We can give out his address to all of the World Wide Web, too.
Poland!
I wonder if we got any goodies in here.
Yeah, he gives us goodies, and we like them.
Yes. All right, so before we get... Let's take a... Support the Thank you, Brooke. My liver needs it.
All things in moderation.
The tone of the Final Scoop versus here is so different. Yeah.
Are they different? I don't know. Don't go on your other one.
Oh, I mean, it depends on what mood Robbie's... Assuming Robbie actually shows up for the podcast in the first place, because he's been kind of now. The past few weeks.
I want to see
Hold on. Let me finish.
You can't open a present and not show me. I'm the youngest child. I'm you.
I'm just going to leave it open like this for the rest of the show.
Okay.
Yeah, Robbie and Shane, we were having a debate on what makes a pre-workout. And what kind of started this was that TJ released a review video saying that the new Unbound pre-workout that NutriBio released, the Unbound pre-workout, wasn't really a pre-workout. It's more a...
That was their argument.
Well, they were having a discussion about it. No. So what TJ's point was that, look, it's got a decent stim profile, but it's not hardcore, and it's not really a pre-workout. It is a stimulant and focus thing.
It is a stimulant and focus, not a pre-workout, because there's no pumps.
And then, right, yeah, there was no performance, and he was also saying there's no beta-alanine in it, and a lot of people like the tingles.
Is that the thing that makes my ears go?
Yeah, the tingles. But the thing is, you're not getting any acute benefit from beta-alanine. It's going to give you a sensory experience, and you might perceive that it's hitting harder. And I understand some people want that.
No, I find it annoying.
And so that led into that like 85 message long thing on WhatsApp that you read between Lucas, TJ, Robbie.
It was really funny.
About them.
I watched the Kevin Hart comedy special recently, his most recent one that he did in his basement, and he talked about like his wife used to get jealous or think he might be cheating, and then she read his text messages between him and his friends. Yeah. And she's like, no, you're not cheating. And I kind of felt the same way. I don't think you're cheating, but when I read the messages between all your boys, I thought, like,
what's going on here?
Okay.
And so Robbie and Shade were getting into it because I was curious. I was trying to just get their input of like, all right, so what are we going to classify as a pre-workout? And, you know, we're asking the audience,
really funny.
What classifies as it? I mean, is it just coffee? Is it something to just get you going, or does it need to hit X, Y, Z thing? So it kind of then spiraled into a conversation of what defines hardcore. You know, say one brand releases a hardcore. Now, hardcore for Apollon is going to be very different for hardcore for Cellucor or Optimum or something like
because they're not as hardcore as Apollon.
Yeah, or just like the history of the brand and what it is. Like, so
it's different.
Apollon's baseline pre-workout has 600 milligrams of caffeine in it. You go harder, I mean, so is hardcore just like how many stimulants you're putting? Is it the dosages? Is it the lifestyle you're leading? And so we kind of went into all of
these. These are good questions. Open the box.
I think we'll save this for next week.
She has to open the box.
Special code and free shipping in Australia. Yeah, we could do a special code. I don't know if we could ship if we can swing the free shipping. That's that. Anyway, okay. Package from Uncle Lucas. Can't even really say Uncle Lucas because he's the same age as me. Ooh, okay. So
mushroom coffee?
This is the Apollo Sogemini thing. So this is a special collaboration that Lucas did with Apollo Sogemini, and so he's a big mushroom fiend. Medicinal mushrooms, not the psychedelic, you know, make you lose your balls.
So this could be medicinal too.
So this is chaga and lion's mane. It's a hazelnut flavor.
I don't understand. Is it coffee beans?
Yeah, you're gonna brew it. It's a powdered coffee, and so you're gonna mix it in there.
But it's got coffee beans in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so mix 1 portion, 2 teaspoons, with approximately 200 mils of hot water.
I'm going to do it. I'm so excited. Does it have caffeine in it?
Yeah, of course. It's coffee.
There's such a thing as decaf coffee, Robert. You're acting like it doesn't exist.
You're the worst.
God, I don't understand. Like I've ever seen this before. This is cool.
All right, this is natural flavor, so this is going to be like regular coffee flavor.
Oh, this is so cool. This is so cool.
Chocolate flavor.
This is so cool.
This is awesome.
So wait, what's the benefit? Just because this is a way to get my lion's mane without like...
And chaga, yeah. Chaga's got a bunch of like...
Caramel. You did a terrible job of showing it to the camera, by the way.
There we go. All right, focus. Well, here, we'll cover up the ugly. There we go. Okay. Do we want to try and do a taste of this now? Or do we
not now. Later?
Later?
We're going to do all 4. Can we do all 4?
Of course we can. Maybe you can join us on the final scoop on Saturday, and you can taste these live, and then you
Those
can yell
are
at
your
Robbie.
boys.
Yeah, but you can
I'm
yell
not
at
going to
Robbie,
interfere
too.
with your boys.
Lucas, thank you.
That is so cool.
Thank you. I mean, I knew he had this project in the works, and he said he was sending me some, but
This is so cool.
This
I
is
wonder what our
badass.
favorite. I wonder if natural is going to be our favorite flavor.
So-
You never know.
the ingredients here, we've got 93% coffee, 2.5% chaga, 2.5% lion's mane powder, and then 2% aroma. Serving size is 10 grams. Region of origin, so
This
it's
has
South
no
American
aroma.
coffee.
This is natural.
Yeah, so that's gonna be regular coffee
This is
flavor.
really
We've got
cool.
chocolate, caramel, and what was the other one?
Hazelnut.
Hazelnut.
Funny story. I don't like Nutella. I don't really like hazelnuts, but I don't mind hazelnut flavored things that much. But I don't really like hazelnut that much. Am I the only one that feels that way?
Maybe that will change your mind.
Okay.
And so all of these, so the mushroom and coffee mix is
This
a
is
good
so
thing
cool.
because the mushrooms have like a really earthy kind of taste, and so
Yeah,
I think it's
yeah.
gonna go really well with the instant coffee.
That's so exciting. Robert's been making me the best cheeseburgers with mushrooms. It doesn't really have anything to do with this, but he's right. Mushrooms taste really good.
Umami.
Umami. And then he caramelizes them with the onions. So good.
So yeah, this is awesome. I'm so excited to try these. I'm probably gonna crack one of these open tomorrow morning.
Yeah. That's exciting. So it has the same like caffeine flavor, like caffeine content as a cup of coffee.
I would assume so. Yeah, I don't know the exact content. Contains caffeine. Not recommended for children. Store in cool, dry place. Just,
This is exciting. I'm really excited. What does chaga do? I know what lion's mane does.
energy, immune health, all that kind of good stuff.
All good things, guys. Eat your mushrooms, but don't eat them raw.
Anti-fatigue benefits, all that good stuff.
It's like a thing, right?
There you go. See, you have one supporter out there.
All the boys. The boys. You know, I was a trumpet girl. There were 70 trumpet players and only 10 girls. So I got mighty used to the gentleman on our trumpet bus.
Gentleman is being very
That's being very nice.
very generous.
It's being very nice.
Especially when you had one guy mousetrapping his nether regions.
He mousetrapped everybody he could possibly do it because he succumbed to peer pressure. And he mooned the Golden
Girls.
Bus. And it was really funny because she didn't quite see it and she smiled and waved. Like one of the Golden Girls was like, because everyone was watching and she was like, hi. And it was like a big butt, like right.
There are
Neil.
more embarrassing stories I've heard about that guy than I could have ever. Like, remember when the cleaning lady walked in? And do you remember seeing
Oh my
that?
God. He had this tendency to drink too much and then he would shit, like poo on himself. When he drank too much, it was like a thing he would do. And he started it in high school. At homecoming with this girl he had the hots for. They went over to their house. He got drunk in high school. That's not good, people. But anyways, then the mom of the girl he had a crush on, like had to clean him up. And it was the story he told to introduce himself. And then his girlfriend of years, like 3 years, comes to a party and he's acting a little different, to which none of the other trumpet guys or even I noticed that much. And then they say,
She's here.
the story, right? Like homecoming when he poos on himself. And she says, what are you talking about? We're like,
Crickets.
You know
Crickets.
the guy you've been dating for 3 years? That's literally the first story he tells everybody. So I still, to this day, I think they're married. We should look that up because I don't know if they should be. She didn't know any of his pooping stories. And I'm like, dude, we all know way too much about this guy. Why don't you?
Agreed.
That was always an interesting relationship. He was like a different person with her. And I mean, I guess that's good if that's the kind of guy you want to be, but then he wasn't like, it's not like she changed him. She just changed him when she was around.
No, because Stephen was always the same, whether he was with a girl or not. Stephen was the goose to my Maverick. We were the co-section leaders my last year at LSU. And so,
Stephen was one of those ladies' men, which I'm going to be honest, it was confidence. It's not like he was the most good-looking guy. You know who he looked exactly like? Who was
Cillian
the Scarecrow?
Cillian Murphy.
That's his name?
Yeah.
You know the Scarecrow from the Batman?
Yeah, and he's also in Peaky Blinders. Yeah.
Peaky Blinders. He looks just like that guy. And not for nothing. That guy's not like, no, he's not like a Christian Bale, for instance. But anyways, he had confidence. Girls like confidence. I always got along with ladies' men because I was never interested in them. And they were never interested in me. It was always fun. It was always fun friendships.
There we go.
Not sure what we're talking about anymore.
Your
I don't know
hots
what's
for
happening.
Christian Bale is all I got from that.
No. I don't like, Robert's not going to like that I'm going to say this, and I've said it before in front of him, and he's always like, thanks. But I don't go for the super hunky guys.
Thanks.
I don't like the super good looking guys.
I don't go for attractive girls either.
I know that sounds like an insult. I'm more of an innards girl.
It's a good thing Steven's a lawyer, because I'm going to need a divorce attorney after this podcast is over.
Don't joke like that. Oh my God, we made a joke. We made a joke the other night.
Last Wednesday
at a party. And she liked to tear us a new one. She's like, you don't joke like that. Divorce is a real thing and it's serious when kids are involved. I was like, dude, we're like super, super happily married.
Solid.
We're never gonna, we don't even fight.
Of course,
like,
I was making everybody
saying.
old fashions that night too. So
she was like not having us joke about that. So now I'm like, okay, I ain't gonna joke about that anymore. Cause I got reprimanded from my boss for doing it. I'm like, I ain't gonna joke about it. It's just joking.
No, I'm good. I'm in good with her husband now, so we're fine.
Yeah, you and Steve are like buds. And he was cool in high school.
Apparently
Who knew?
So. I mean, I was cool. No.
I actually found old pictures of us from prom. And it was awkward.
Do you want to show them?
No, I look the same, Robert. You don't want to show them. You were really little and thin. You were like thin. Like
my
thin
senior
face.
year. Yeah, no, my senior year.
You were like thin. It's because you only ate French fries every day at lunch. I got a Jersey mom there. Okay, anyways. You needed food. You didn't eat food.
No, I didn't.
You didn't eat food. It's okay though. All right, let's ask a real question.
Do you feel like pro sports are really far behind in terms of supplementation?
It's a good interesting question. Yeah, because we saw the Tom Brady line. It wasn't very good. Burn! They should hire Robert.
There we go.
I'm serious. I was about to write him a letter. I was like, dude, you could do so much better than this. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, but I'm okay if Tom Brady wants to tank. I'd rather help Drew Brees build a line.
Drew Brees. Please run for mayor of New Orleans.
Or LSU.
Okay, well, whatever.
Do you feel like pro sports teams are really far in terms? I mean, they know the stuff that actually works, so like creatine, caffeine stuff. Most of the other supplements, like the bodybuilding community has really hyped. That's really based on like one or two studies.
Mm-hmm.
So, and these athletes are like finely tuned machines. So they have every facet of their existence, basically. So don't compare them to the athletes of like the 70s, 80s, and even as like the 90s.
Why?
Athletes today, I mean, because go back and look at it. Remember,
make your argument. Why?
I'm saying all of their stuff is so finely tuned now. I don't know if supplementation would have that much of an effect on them because all of these studies that we're seeing. So maybe something like
they're already maximized.
Yeah, hold on, let me finish before you jump in. So
I want the thesis.
Right, I understand that, but there's more to this. Okay. So using malto and Gatorade instead of cluster dextrin? No, because you look at it, the cluster dextrin studies were mostly done in mice that were doing endurance events, and there's a few human studies, but at the end of the day, you just need really simple glucose. Much more has been made out of cluster dextrin and as the super premium high performance carbohydrate. I don't think you're going to see a big difference in an NFL athlete or a soccer player or football for you other people around the world that call soccer football. The other 99% of the population actually calls it
a-holes for calling it soccer. This is a true statement.
So American football and then football. Do I think you're going to see a big difference in performance using Gatorade versus cluster dextrin? No, absolutely not. And that's what I said on the final scoop a couple months back. When I'm recommending like an intra-workout carbohydrate to somebody, for somebody that's doing a 45 to 60 minute resistance training routine, carbohydrate supplementation is not going to be the limiting factor. To whether you're using Gatorade or cluster dextrin, it's not going to make the difference between you lifting 5 more pounds on the lift.
Excuse me, but you're talking about these people do it for more than 45 minutes. I mean, an NFL game, you're talking about 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah.
So then.
No, I don't even think so because, I mean, glucose on its own is really fast digesting and it would just like I wouldn't use maltodextrin. So don't use maltodextrin, but use regular dextrose. That's perfectly fine. You don't need to mess around with cluster dextrin. Maybe if you're having some GI issues or something, you could maybe make an argument with that. But, I mean, cluster dextrin is fine. It's super pricey. Yes, it might have some or Vitargo or something. A lot of these advanced carbohydrates that the bodybuilding community has put out, I think you put them head to head in high professional athletes versus regular dextrose or something, I don't think you would notice much of a
That's
difference.
interesting. I would love to do that actually. Okay. Well, he says something else.
Or using products like Kumite before games or training. Yeah. So if you were supplementing with Pico 2, stuff like Pico 2 beta-alanine, I think, and Elevate ATP, I think all those could have compounding effects to where you're ultimately increasing ATP regeneration in the body, hydrogen ion buffering, and all of these other things. I think you could get a little bit better performance. I think it would really only be noticeable in top tier athletes, like their average Jimmys and Joes. I don't think you're going to notice.
What do you mean by top tier? You're talking about like a starting basketball player.
Correct. Yeah. Like you give these guys something, I think it's going to make a difference. I think it could make a difference either in recovery or on the field performance. Yeah, I think you would notice that. You got to remember, a lot of these supplement studies, these individual ones, are they only last like 8 to 12 weeks, and they're on
they're on average people. They're never on super athletic people.
Well, that or they're on untrained individuals or like college stage guys.
Okay, so just so I'm clear, let me just ask this for a second. So you know how like when somebody hasn't worked out and then they work out and all of a sudden they can like get a lot of definition or they can lose a lot of, but then someone who's already fit, it's like it's like a curve, right? Like it's like they don't have as far up to go.
Right.
Okay, so that's what you're saying. You're saying these top tier athletes don't have that much further to go.
Yeah, you'll get a modest. I mean, if you get a very small boost in performance, I think that's absolutely possible. And at those levels, improving even 0.5% is going to be enough to give you that extra edge.
Well, those are team sports. What about something like boxing or MMA? Like it's me and me alone versus you, and I take Kumite before I go do it. Would that help me?
Well, yeah, that's the exact reason Robbie and I developed that formula was for combat athletes.
Well, I didn't know that.
Hence its name, Kumite.
Okay, I know what the Kumite is. Kumite.
There you go. Do you remember the name of the movie?
Bloodsport. Jean-Claude Van Damme. His first movie. Right.
No, it actually wasn't his first movie. That was his breakout movie, though.
Well, that was his breakout movie. And then he proceeded to make like a bunch of clone movies of himself.
I think they definitely could have a benefit. The reason that they probably don't is because you have nutritionists advising them that aren't up to speed on actual supplements and stuff like that.
Burn, nutritionists. Take that.
I mean, most doctors don't have any idea about
nutrition.
I know.
Either, I don't trust doctors anymore. They don't keep up with the science. That's why I like math better. Science is always changing.
Is there something they know that we don't? No, I would say it's probably they're just unaware of it because they're so kind of just into doing their drills and being told, hey, you eat this food and all of that stuff.
Which is good too.
Yeah, they don't have somebody in there to recommend certain supplements, or if they do, it's somebody that's like an RD or maybe a sports nutritionist that is only going by the stuff that has 400 studies behind it, like caffeine and creatine. There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm like, if you want to experiment with some other things, there's an opportunity there that's probably not being seen.
You hear that, NFL? Robert Shinetsky is available to be your team, whatever. Supplementation specialist.
Yeah. Any brands that you've become disappointed with, caged with their absurd
I'm curious.
Yeah, Cage Muscle has kind of jumped the shark. I mean, Apollon Nutrition has gone off the deep end as far as...
Shut up! He's joking.
I mean, I don't know. It depends on if Robbie's on the show this week or not. If he doesn't show up, then
they suck.
We'll be disappointed. Yeah, Caged, I actually haven't even looking at much of what they're doing lately, but if they're probably doing a transformation challenge. There's hard ways to kind of stand out in the industry nowadays, aside from, because we all have the same base level of ingredients. So all the pre-workers you're seeing, it's going to be the same stuff. 300, somewhere between 250 to 350 milligrams caffeine, 6 grams of citrulline, 3.2 beta-alanine, 2.5 grams of betaine. So what are we looking at? We're looking at flavors. You're looking at the marketing of the story behind the brand. I don't give a shit about that. I really don't. The whole lifestyle thing, I don't buy. Like, I understand that works for some people, and it's a great thing. And if you can develop a brand and you create a message that people resonate with, and it brings you success,
it's beautiful.
That's awesome.
Robert has no soul. That's all he's saying.
Pretty much, yeah. I didn't fall in love with the San Francisco 49ers as a kid or the Atlanta Braves because there was a wonderful story and like this coming of age.
No, did it because they won.
They were winning.
They were winners. Yeah. And you liked Nolan Ryan, right?
They kept their mouth shut and they just played the game.
I taught his granddaughter.
Yeah. Yeah,
she's
Nolan
adorable
Ryan,
and sweet.
Nolan Ryan, Greg Maddux, and John Smoltz were my 3 favorite pitchers as a kid. So,
and Nolan Ryan did a good job raising his kids because the grandkids rock.
Yeah. I would say like there's some brands that have kind of, I think, drifted to the middle, or they've started to become like, once you get to a certain size, you start doing like, you start scaling issues, and maybe you start being less adventurous with your formulations. But part of that is there's an element of scaling to it, to where you're more focused on making something that kind of catches their eye, tastes good with flavoring, and then when you presented ingredients for certain products, you immediately shove it off like, oh, that's too hard to flavor, or we don't like that. And I mean, I've had some of these conversations with people before, and
it's helped formulate, and then some people are like, no.
It's kind of frustrating. Well, I mean, it's frustrating with certain things, but I understand where they're coming out with the business aspect, because look, hey, there is this really new cool ingredient. The studies are kind of interesting, but I understand where the brand's coming from, saying, hey, is the 99% of consumers walking into a GNC saying, oh yeah, I want to buy this pre-workout because it's got X, Y, and Z new performance booster in there. And no, they don't.
I find that
they go for flavor. They look for the cool label and the caffeine.
Cool label, because I think that sometimes they want to put ingredients in that you don't stand by, and you say, why do you want to do that? Like, oh, because you're like, yeah, but it doesn't do anything. That study's bunk. So it's interesting, because the things you want to put in, sometimes companies don't want to, and then some of the things that you think are bunk, they do, because it's like got this hype on social media. So I don't know. Yeah,
like green coffee bean, even a regular L-carnitine, GBB. There's no weight loss data on it, but it produces this very strong thermogenic effect in the body. Nobody knows why the fuck it's doing that.
That's interesting. We should study that.
And they throw it in all of these. I mean, it's in all of those pre-cardio things now. So
yeah. I got to tell you, I feel like doctors don't know as much as Robert does about a lot of things, or about the.
I'm about to say it.
I'm just saying. But like, the other thing is that a doctor doesn't even know. People are like, do you have a regular doctor? I'm like, do I have a guy that I see for 10 minutes once a year? Why would I do? What's the point? I know that I have a gynecologist, and I like him, but I got to know him really well when I was pregnant, because I saw him all the time. But if you don't see someone all the time, they don't know you. So how can they know your body? I mean, the one thing I liked about the TV show House, he would always like go search their house, and he would try to get some like back end understanding of who this person is. A person's more than just this one. You can't isolate a bladder. It's connected to all the other parts. That's the thing about it. And so it's like,
agreed.
I don't know.
Yeah, unless you had some kind of...
And that's crazy that someone told you not to take creatine.
Pre-existing kidney issues or something, Brooke. Yeah, that doesn't really make sense.
It's because you were a girl. A lot of people think girls shouldn't take creatine.
Well, the doctor probably thought creatine was a steroid or something like that. I don't know.
I still have people at my work think it's a steroid, and they drive me bananas.
Regarding brands, yeah, it's very... Well, I mean, that's the issue, though. That's always been one of my biggest gripes about the industry, is the misleading marketing. That was one of the reasons I jumped into the industry, because I got sick of seeing like the overhyped Beachbody ads or V-Shred and all these other things.
And we liked Beachbody. We liked P90X. And then...
it kind of went like everything else in society. It started
They're trying to make money.
For like the lowest common denominator.
You don't need that much money to be happy. It's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, there's a lot of misleading marketing, and a lot of people fall for it. I mean, I fell for some of the initial claims on stuff too, and it happens. It's what it ensnares you, and I think that's kind of where
you don't know any better.
Well, yeah, but also it takes a certain amount of effort for somebody to look past that, and so more consumers need to start doing that. Is, hey, see that initial claim, but then maybe do a little bit of your own homework and kind of go down the rabbit hole if you have the time, energy, effort.
I appreciate people who understand history, and I appreciate people who read books that are older and that were like printed before 1950, not for health necessarily, but for just the art of thinking. I think it's important to question things and to think. Do you even know that Aristotle was wrong? Nobody knows this. I'm sorry. Aristotle was wrong for 2,000 years. He said that things that were twice as heavy fell twice as fast. That's not true. And it wasn't until Galileo actually dropped things that he noticed it. Think about all the information that's out there that people just take for granted. With all the information that's being thrown around, nobody questions it. I have an issue with that.
Oh, they fell at
the same speed. It's called gravity. It's around 16 feet per second squared. Actually, it's 32. It's 32. I'm sorry. I was taking half the distance for projectile motion. It's 32.
Bogdan.
What's up?
Lion's Mane guy.
I love Lion's Mane.
Looking into cordyceps pre-workout, and the brand Oravita doesn't recommend stacking with caffeine, but doesn't explain why. I've never actually heard of any interactions. I can't think of any interactions between cordyceps and caffeine particularly. Maybe there's not a very they don't sell a caffeinated pre-workout, so maybe that's not why. But I mean,
It says they don't recommend stacking it.
Cordyceps, I think you need probably 2 to 3 grams at a minimum before, just routinely to get the benefits of it. But let me check out Orvita real quick.
Well, okay. Did you spell it right?
Yeah. Interesting. It's a combination of mycelium and the fruiting body.
Oh.
Okay.
Tell them the difference between the mycelium and the fruiting body.
Go for it.
The mycelium is the stuff under the soil, and the fruiting body is the stuff you see, right?
Yeah. Cordyceps and caffeine. I swear, some things on Reddit, like, so the first thing you type in, it's like a massive forum on the internet. That's where a lot of the stuff with lion's mane tanking libido came up, and that's where there's just cordyceps contains adenosine, and Orvita is especially high. More adenosine in the brain is usually associated with increased mental fatigue. I felt like crap immediately. Where's mental fatigue? Blah, blah, blah. See, I feel like this is an oversimplification of stuff. So they're saying the same thing with the lion's mane tanks libido. So there was a compound. So lion's mane is.
What if it's just that one guy?
Yeah, and
you drink whiskey all the time and your libido's fine.
I'm talking about lion's mane, not whiskey.
Well, I was just saying there's this theory. Everybody knows there's a theory about whiskey. I'm not going to say it. But he's fine.
Okay, so there was this one screwball who put out a video saying that lion's mane tanks libido, and he was saying that thousands and thousands of case reports on Reddit and stuff like that. And I was thinking his explanation was that there is an alkaloid or a polysaccharide within lion's mane that has shown some.
It makes them remember they're not attracted to their wife.
Yeah, hold on. There's a lot to take it, so let me just try to get through it. There is one compound that was in a relative of lion's mane, not the actual lion's mane mushroom, but a relative of lion's mane and one other medicinal mushroom that has been shown to have some adverse effects on testosterone levels and DHT levels.
Okay.
In rats. No effects, no studies of this in men, but he took it to the end thing of saying, don't ever take lion's mane. It's going to crush your libido and do all this stuff. And I just said,
it has so many more health benefits.
That's irresponsible. You're taking one isolated piece of research and you're blowing it way out of proportion.
Do people listen?
Now, I'm sure people have, yeah. It was enough because Robbie's gotten questions saying, hey, should I not take Pico 2? This was Bogdan emailed Robbie and said, hey, should I not take Pico 2 because it's got lion's mane in it? And so Pico 2 is mostly cordyceps, okay. And there's a little bit of lion's mane in it, but just because there's something, that you're making a mountain out of a molehill in these kind of instances. You're trying to take an isolated thing like that. So
what about this thing with caffeine?
Orvita might have adenosine. So the way caffeine works is that it is an adenosine receptor antagonist. So caffeine is structurally similar to adenosine, which is a neurotransmitter that it's responsible for feeling sluggish, lethargic, kind of sleepy. Caffeine, the reason it makes you feel awake and alert is that it blocks, it binds to the adenosine receptor and blocks the adenosine from doing that. So you're saying that by taking cordyceps, which may have some adenosine in it,
it's blocking.
You're adding more adenosine to your system, but putting caffeine with it, so you're going to have this fight of who's going to dock to the receptor, the cordyceps or the caffeine. It's not that simple. The human body is not that simple. It doesn't work that way. So I would not really worry about that at all.
Go ahead and try it and see what happens.
Yeah, you can try it. I'm not discounting individual experience, but people can also placebo themselves into a lot of things.
Thank you. As we've discussed, 70% of anxiety teenagers felt better on a placebo.
Yeah. Yeah. Orvita cordyceps never combine with lactose or cordyceps containing. I don't understand that at all.
Because it's vegan. That's why they don't want you to contain lactose, because it comes from an animal.
Yeah. I've never heard of any interactions between cordyceps and caffeine. Yeah, I don't get that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see. Lion's mane has so many good benefits.
Yeah,
it makes me sad.
Yeah. I'm going to see if I can find what they said. Let me go down a wormhole with that and see.
He's researching right now.
Increases ATP levels on strength, muscle, and power output. But I don't understand why I would say.
I don't know, babe.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that, but it doesn't make any sense why you would not want to stack it with caffeine. I mean, caffeine is one of the few things that's incredibly safe. And hell, they make mushroom coffees, so
That's literally what we have here.
yeah. So yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'll look into it. Bogdan. Maybe I can get you an answer. By Saturday, I'll look into it some more and see. So Robert can explain anything and Sandy can make anything.
I'll take it. And the funny thing is, I don't try to be funny because when I try to be funny, I'm not. So there. I just say weird things and make weird faces, apparently. I don't know.
I would say that. I don't know. How much flailing? How many steps is the flailing got?
Oh, let's see. I've only had 600. Not that much, guys.
Only? That's a lot.
Oh, is that a lot?
Yeah. You've been sitting on your ass for an hour and 20 minutes, and you have 600.
I don't know. I was hoping to at least get 1,000.
You're ridiculous.
Well,
focus,
I can't.
Focus.
I'm moving too much. The camera won't focus on me.
There we go. All right. Actually, we look better when we're blurry. Let's go. Last call for questions, guys, and then you're going to have to. This went a lot longer than I thought we would.
It did go longer.
Aren't you glad I started earlier?
Aren't you glad we started? Yeah, I'm just saying what you said. That's awkward. Sometimes I repeat what he says, but I say it with more feeling. I feel like I deliver it better.
Which mushroom coffee are we going to try first?
Oh. Okay, wait.
Oh, and Bogdan. The lion's mane rip is not in any way a slight against you. Like
we love lion's mane.
Well, no. I'm saying like he was one of the ones that was curious, saying that lion's mane affected him, and I touched on this on Saturday. I'm not ripping you for the lion's mane stuff. I'm talking about the dipshit that I tore a new one on the final scoop a couple weeks ago for his fear mongering tactics, because he's also put a crusade against ashwagandha and a few other wackadoodle things, and that's the lowest common denominator of the supplement industry. I hate is the people that prey on the insecurities of other people and say, hey, I know all these secrets. You can't use this one compound because that's what's holding you back. And it's all this stupid shit. And that's the stuff that makes me really, really pissed off. So
I'm with you on that.
Don't ever mistake anything I'm saying about it. That's not you, man. It's not you, anything like that. So yeah.
Going back to the coffee, I think we should start with the natural flavor first.
Okay.
Then do hazelnut, chocolate, caramel. Because I feel like I'm going in strength order. Don't you think that caramel would be the sweetest and chocolate, then hazelnut, then natural?
I have a feeling hazelnut's going to be sweeter than chocolate.
Hazelnut's not sweet. It's a nut.
So is hazel. I mean, no, never mind. Shit. Never mind.
Okay, Robert.
I quit.
I think it's time to end this.
I
Because you just thought that caramel was a nut.
I thought it was caramel nut or something like that. I don't know.
I still don't know what you're saying.
I don't know. All right. Thank you, Brooke, for tuning in as always, as well as for the $5 super chat. We appreciate it.
You're so sweet.
Yes.
That's so nice. She could have bought something with that.
Could have bought.
So I need to read more.
Could have bought.
I plan to read the biography of Benjamin Franklin and Plutarch's lives.
How many lives did he have?
No, he wrote about people that were famous. He wrote about people. That's what Plutarch did.
In his lives?
No. He wrote about Julius Caesar. That's the only one I remember. I'm going to read him.
Something I learned. Caesar didn't actually exist.
Okay. It's over. What we learned was Caesar was never an emperor. He was only a dictator. Then he made himself dictator for life before he was killed.
Allegedly.
Okay. And I just want to say for the record, the movie Gladiator, did you know Marcus Aurelius and Commodus were real people?
Yes, I did know that.
I didn't know that. But Marcus Aurelius was apparently a really good writer, and I'm going to read his stuff. I'm going to learn all about it.
Do we have Aurelius?
We have Marcus Aurelius's writings. I got all these books from my literature professor who retired, and he has all these books. And I said, these are amazing. He said, you can take them. I said, done. I'm saying something. Don't offer something to me. Like, if you're like, you can come stay with us anytime, I'm saying, when? Because don't offer it. I don't work well with passive aggressive. You can have the last piece. Okay. So I took all his books, and now they are in our library, and we look super fancy. We have the writings of famous people, things you wouldn't even know about. So cool.
George Lucas. We have his books as well.
We do have all of the Star Wars books too.
The real Star Wars sequels.
I was ignoring that first. Yeah, where Han and Leia had babies. Anakin, Jason, and Jaina. And Jaina was a really cool pilot. You're welcome.
And a badass Jedi. And for you give us more. Thank you.
You know she's talking to you.
Could be you. I mean, I'm just here for my good looks. That's all.
But not too good looking.
No, clearly not, because you don't marry for looks.
I don't like them if they're too good looking. You gotta be like right there.
It's gotta be the perfect blend of ugly.
Sorry.
I need just enough ugliness to make sure you're not.
I don't like
attractive to
arrogant
other girls.
people. Well, I do, because you're arrogant. But I don't like arrogant people for their looks.
I am not arrogant. I just know I'm better than everybody.
Okay.
If you can prove it, it's not arrogance. You just know it.
Yeah. Okay. It's not paranoid if they're really after you. It's kind of what I just heard.
Exactly. Allegedly.
Okay,
All
I
right.
think it's time to go.
Thank you all for tuning in for the May Support, May Improve podcast. We appreciate it.
But it might not.
It might not.
But we're going to try these next time, guys. I'm so excited.
Yes. I'm probably going to crack one of these open. Instead of my usual coffee and chicory in the morning, I'm going to have one of these instead.
Yeah, me too. And then I'm going to read Marcus Aurelius.
There you go.
Or the biography of Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to do the official closing intro? And
I don't
remind me
know
of all
what
that
you
stuff?
say because I never listen. I'm always just looking at myself. Should I not have been honest? Because that's true. I do. I'm like, how's my hair? And he's just talking. You don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like. Your hair's just done and it's done. You don't know. I have to fluff.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in as always. If you like what we're doing here, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video with family, friends, and loved ones. If you listen to us on any other podcast perusing platform, I'm not a cat. Don't stroke me. Leave us a 5-star review. That helps us climb up in the almighty algorithm. Lucas Witkowski, thank you, sir. Much love. We appreciate you. You're amazing. If you're looking to further support this or you're interested in trying anything from Apollo Nutrition, Robbie's been nice enough to hook us up with a 15% discount. Click that link below. If you have any comments, questions, queries, or quips, or a future topic for one of these Q&As that
They have
Dana
really
and I
good
do,
peanut butter cookie.
leave us a
chocolate.
comment down below or send an email to thesupplementengineer@gmail.com. And in closing, Santa, you drop some see.
Yeah, y'all. Yeah. Yeah. Wait till I go to my topology class. You're going to learn all about it.
Oh my goodness. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much, and we will catch you next time.